And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the week of August 23rd, 2021. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's program, our feature interview will look at the Home Energy Assistance Program. It's the program here at ACAP that benefits the most number of Aroostook County residents. And we're going to talk about its critical importance with two of the program area leaders. We're also going to talk about some of the new things for this Home Energy Assistance Program, including some increased eligibility guidelines and other program details that will be helpful in terms of your appointment for the coming season, or if you don't already have an appointment or aren't already a customer, how you can get engaged with our Home Energy Assistance Program. So we're going to do that in just a bit, but before we do that, as we do at this point in the program always, we're going to first go to the news and the information that you can use again for this week of August 23rd, 2021. And with our news and information that you can use, we begin again with a reminder, as we told you last week on ACAP Today, that due to the increased number of cases and the community transmission in Aroostook County, ACAP has resumed requiring face coverings in all ACAP facilities. Our staff are in need of wearing masks, I should say, in all ACAP facilities when engaging with one another and when in common space areas. And we ask the same of our customers. Any customers coming into the building are required to wear face coverings. We do have masks available at all locations that are yours to keep, and we'll actually give you some to even take home as you'd like. So please do not hesitate to come into our facilities, but know that we are taking all necessary precautions to prevent community transmission, and certainly that of the Delta variant of the COVID-19 infection. So thank you for your patience and understanding as we want to keep both you, our customers, and our staff members safe at this critical time. From that, we want to remind folks as a related item that if you have not received your COVID-19 vaccination, and there are certainly more incentives to do so now than ever given the community transmission, we encourage you to do so. The information on your screen here, including a website, maine.gov/COVID-19/vaccines, is a great resource to go and find out where the nearest available vaccination sites are to you. Many of them now are not requiring appointments, such as walk-in centers and the like. So certainly you can feel free to do that, or you can make an appointment. If you need assistance making an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine, if you're looking at a site that requires you to do it online, you can give us a call at 764-3721, and we will gladly help you navigate that resource in order to get your COVID-19 vaccination scheduled. There is also a free vaccine ride program that the Department of Health and Human Services continues to offer. The information there on your screen, including the telephone number, speaks to that. They do request at least a 48-hour advance notice of your appointment. And if your appointment is in fact something that you intend to do walk-in, just let them know 48 hours before you would like to go to the nearest walk-in facility for a COVID-19 appointment, and they will arrange transportation to pick you up and to bring you back home. Moving on to other news, non-COVID related, we want to share with you that this coming Saturday, as part of our SNAP education program, our community educator in that program in Southern Aroostook, Allison Gooding, will be on site at the Holton Farmers Market, where she will have a table at that community market to provide you with some nutritional information, some information and recipes on some of the things that you can do with the healthy produce available at that site. And so we certainly encourage you to visit with Allison if you're in Southern Aroostook and in Holton on that day and at that time on the 28th. She'll also be sharing with you information on how to stay healthy on a budget with your food choices. So please do stop by and see Allison at the community market in Holton this Saturday. Beyond that, we want to share with you that our emergency rental assistance program continues. As we've been telling you, some of the program guidelines changed at the beginning of August that allow for folks to have more financially related impacts to COVID, not necessarily have been directly impacted by the virus itself, but the economic impact. So please do give us a call if you are unable to fill out the online applications or have any questions. Otherwise, the online application is available at mainehousing.org/COVID-rent. It's also available off the ACAP website, and we certainly encourage you to apply if you are a renter in Aroostook County. And if you go online, you will see the income eligibility guidelines. If you fall within those income eligibility guidelines or are very nearby those income eligibility guidelines, we encourage you to fill out and complete an application for this program. Not only will it assist you with rent payment, but it'll also have the opportunity to assist you with utility payments. Please do, we ask for your patience with the process. We have a number of applications that we're processing through, and it may take a while for us to get back to you, but if you do get your application in the queue, we promise you we will get to you as soon as possible and be in touch. It does require cooperation initially from your landlord, but there are also ways that if your landlord is not participating in the program, that we can help you with that, and our staff will help talk you through that. We want to congratulate a number of organizations, particularly daycares and other providers throughout Aroostook County, for being inducted into our Tobacco Hall of Fame for adopting smoke-free and tobacco-free policies. These are individuals or organizations, I should say, that have gone through our tobacco policy work with our talented staff in our prevention teams. We want to thank the youth serving entities and congratulate Vicky's Daycare, Small Wonders, Precious Moments Childcare, the multi-housing unit Travis Cooker Apartments, as well as the workplace HSC auctions. And of course, we told you last week about St. Apollonia Dental Clinic and their 3,400 youth that they reach and 7 employees. And then we've also worked with a number of public places and municipalities, including Blackstone Family Farm. And we had also shared with you about the towns of Mapleton and Castle Hill that we recently helped achieve this status. So congratulations to all of those, and thank you for working in partnership. If you would like to be on this list and establish new tobacco policies working side by side with our team, and it costs you absolutely nothing as an organization, and you even receive free signage as a result of participating in this program, please do give us a call here at 764-3721, and we'll gladly connect you with our tobacco prevention services. The ACAP Community Cupboard outside of ACAP's 771 Main Street Presque Isle facility is in need of a monthly sponsor. There are community cupboards located throughout Aroostook County that are very organic and been introduced by community groups. The concept is take what you need, leave what you can. And we are, because of the heavy volume and utilization at ACAP 771 Main Street office in Presque Isle, it's the most heavily used community cupboard. We have been reaching out to community organizations. You can sponsor it one of two ways. $500 will allow us to purchase food, non-perishable food items to stock the cupboard through the month, or your company or organization can adopt it and just work to consistently keep it stocked throughout any given month using a volunteer force. So if you have any information, any interest in doing that, I would like to learn more, contact Sherry Locke. Her information is there on your screen and can be reached through the main switchboard at 764-3721 here at ACAP as well. We wanted to share with you that we have heard news that the U.S. Department of Agriculture is looking to increase the SNAP benefits. That's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known and known to many as food stamps. This program will raise about 21% compared to fiscal year 2019. It would be the largest ever increase in base SNAP benefits, and the adjustment will take effect on October 1st. So for those of you who are struggling with food security and making ends meet at this point, who have the SNAP benefit, certainly please be advised that this will be happening and hopefully be a help to your household. If you think that your family may be eligible or may be in need of SNAP benefits, please do contact our agency. Our navigators can help you help determine whether or not you might be eligible or connect you with the right resource to see if we can make this happen. So again, I'll talk about our navigators at the end of this news segment and how you reach them, but we wanted to share this good news with folks. The community closet, I talked about the community cupboard just a moment ago. The community closet is available to folks 24/7 outside of ACAP's 771 Main Street facility. Like the community cupboard, it's a give what you can, take what you need philosophy. And we are looking for individuals right now to help us as volunteers with this, even a couple of hours a day, a couple of hours a week, whatever you can spare. To help just organize the clothing and to help put out new clothing from the stock of what folks bring and donate to us to keep the supply fresh out there and to just keep it organized for folks. Sherry Locke, again, is the person that you can contact. We are asking at this point, because of the volume of clothing that we receive for the kids community closet, that if you do have a donation of clothing, to please drop it off during regular business hours between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. here at ACAP, as opposed to leaving it in the evenings or on weekends. At this point, some of that stuff was not, because of the volume of clothing out there, was not being properly cared for. And if you're going to make the donation, we certainly want to make sure that we can get it out there to folks. So please try to drop off any donations while ACAP is open. We also want to remind folks, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, about the expanded benefit for pandemic EBT. What you're seeing here on your screen is a sample of the mailing that went out to parents across the state of Maine. It was in a very, bland, if you will, envelope, and had your child's name. It would have potentially been addressed to your child. So folks could have certainly have seen it as a scam in this day and age. And we just want to let folks know that there is a website there, a pinetreecard.com/Maine EBT client that you should go to if you think you might have just accidentally thrown yours away, or if you did not and you still have it in a mail pile, please do consider picking it up, because there are benefits for you to assist you in buying groceries to help at this time as a result of this mailing. So we just wanted to again make you aware of that. If you want more information, you can check out our ACAP YouTube channel. A couple of weeks ago's program focused on this, and our guest had some really spectacular information on this benefit and what it all means for folks. So we encourage you to go look for that broadcast to get more information. We also have on our Facebook page and our website a little a quick video that demonstrates what this program is all about. It's very helpful to customers. And we'd also like to share that our housing programs continue to need contractors at this time to work in various programs, from our central heating improvement program, which helps to put furnace replacements into people's homes, to our contractors who work with us to do weatherization and home repair across Aroostook County. If you are a contractor and are interested in partnering with us, we pay our bills quite promptly, and we do things to help people stay warm and safe in their homes. Please contact Shannon Hill. Her information is there on your screen, and we'd love to get some more contractors so that we can serve more Aroostook County people with these vital services on a regular basis. We also share with you again that our ACAP team in workforce development is participating in Maine's Workforce Collaborative, offering virtual training and education sessions on things from interviewing tips and tricks all the way to job preparation and retention, to resume and cover letter development for individuals looking to secure employment or to secure greater employment throughout the state of Maine. So I would encourage folks who have any interest in this to go to our website on the workforce development page, and you can find out how to sign up for these. And ACAP is proud to be a partner in these. Some of our workforce development staff teach these classes, and other courses are taught by some of our collaborative partners across the state of Maine. And they offer these on a regular basis, again, virtually, so you can participate in them from the comfort of your living room. Please do give us a call or check out our website to sign up for these classes. There is the new benefit that we've been telling you, the child tax credit that's been allocable to families since mid-July. If you are receiving this, that is great. But if you are not, it's about $300 extra a month or so, depending on your family composition, that should be coming to you. If you filed your 2020 taxes, it should be coming to you automatically. If you did not, we certainly encourage you to go to childtaxcredit.gov to begin the process to ensuring that you do receive that additional child tax credit, which will bring anywhere from $3,000 to $3,600 per child for nearly all working families to help, especially at this time. So please do, if you are not receiving that, please do look into it. It is well worth it. And if you have any questions, our navigators here can also help you. But again, childtaxcredit.gov is the best resource for finding that information. We do have early care and education openings at some of our facilities across Aroostook County. We encourage you, regardless, if you are looking at a future childcare opportunity, to get on our waiting list here at ACAP. The childcare situation out there is very much in demand across Aroostook County, and we encourage you to call us and get on our list so that we can be in regular contact with you as openings become available. You can reach us at 764-3721 to connect with us if you have children under the age of 6 that would be in need of early care and education. And finally, in this week's news and information, you can use, as always, and I've mentioned this more than once in our broadcast, if you are in need of anything at this point, if you are finding yourself financially struggling or struggling to make ends meet, or just not sure what services are available to you at this time, please do give us a call. We have a team of navigators that are specializing in how they can connect individuals with such services, whether they're here in our agency or with partner agencies or even government resources. Again, 764-3721 and ask to speak to a navigator. And with that, that's this week's news and information that you can use again for the week of August 23rd, 2021. I am pleased now to welcome to our broadcast two of our outstanding HEAP team members, one who has been on ACAP Today before, albeit reluctantly, and I think she's a little reluctant about being on this one. That's Averill Gardner, but she does such a great job and certainly knows all the ins and outs of the program. And a wonderful new addition to the ACAP team, Andrea White, who's taken on a brand new position, sort of a first-time crafted position where she's overseeing the work of our HEAP intake team, but also looking at things from a big picture and looking at agency-wide intake for ACAP as we continue to evolve and to try to serve customers more comprehensively. So Averill and Andrea, welcome to ACAP Today.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
And it is sort of like the eve of the big game, if you will, for our HEAP team, because starting actually this week when this program airs, we are going to start seeing customers for the first time in the Home Energy Assistance Program. So Averill, let me start with you as a veteran HEAP team member to sort of get folks grounded on what the HEAP program is and what it's not, what it's all about.
Okay. Our program is an assistance program to help families heat their homes in the wintertime. It's basically a income-based program. So, and the income guidelines are going up this year. So it's basically to help everybody heat their homes, to assist them. So we encourage people to call us.
Great. So we're going to talk a little bit more in just a bit about, you talked about the income guidelines. We're going to visit on those in just a minute. We're also going to talk about how people can connect with the program and what the protocol and process is, because I know that we already have people calling and asking our other team members who are out in communities about what this season looks like and what the appointments are looking like. But Andrea White, brand new to ACAP, brand new to this program. Why should people connect with us on this program, and how is it best that they connect with us? Because it's a program that some people know, the people that certainly have been part of that program for a number of years know about it, but sometimes it can be a bit of a best kept secret for others.
Yeah, it's really important, Jason. I mean, everybody knows what winters in Aroostook County look like, and they're not always, well, they're never pleasant for most of the year. I think that this is a very important program, and like Averill said, it is income-based. Not everybody would qualify, but the Maine housing folks have actually increased the income eligibility guidelines this year, yet again. So just because you didn't get a benefit last year when you applied, doesn't mean you shouldn't apply again. If you didn't get a benefit because you were, quote, over income, you may not be this year. So it's always a good thing to just keep in touch with us. And if you did get a benefit last year, you will receive a letter that you don't need to call us. We actually already have an appointment slot set up for you. You're going to receive a letter in the mail very shortly, and that appointment time and date is going to be sort of around the time that you were talked to last year. And it's really important for you to, sit by your phone or come into one of our offices if that is what you prefer. Before these letters went out, a lot of phone calls were made to say, hey, would you like to have your next HEAP appointment over the phone this year, or would you like to do it in person? A lot of people said, no, I'd really like to come in person. So that's what your letter will say. But if you are saying, no, I want it over the phone, and that's fine, that's what your letter is going to say. So don't be confused, because it's going to say on your letter, it's going to say, Caribou office, because that's where you're closest to. But at the very top, it's going to say this is going to be a phone interview in big red letters. So don't confuse that when you see the Caribou office name, that, oh, I need to go into the Caribou office. It's not that way. So unless you specify that you want an in-person appointment this year, it will be over the phone. in most cases. So, so there, again, the income guideline increase is a very exciting thing that Maine Housing has done this year. Another exciting thing is that over the years and past, they required 3 months of income documentation. Well, it's only going to be 1 month this year. So it's a lot less documentation for you to have to provide, which is always a good thing. And, sometimes, these state agencies or government agencies make things harder when in fact Maine Housing is working to make things easier. And so this is a great time for me to come into this program with all these new and wonderful things that they're offering, because we all know government, sometimes they make things harder, and they're making it easier for us to get the assistance that we need. So it's an exciting time of year for sure. It's like Christmas around here.
So I know that you and your team are going to be actually taking some new processes and steps this year that are going to help connect others with services. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But you mentioned the income eligibility guidelines. So let's bring up on the screen here an idea of what folks are looking at for income eligibility guidelines, because oftentimes people, as you say, make the assumption that perhaps they've applied in the past and so it's one and done and they don't have another opportunity. Or you also just mentioned there that the look back sometimes changes over a period of time. So we all know that in this very volatile economic situation that people's income level may shift suddenly. And then that could mean, and I've seen this, and I know Averill has seen it as well, that someone who didn't qualify at one point in the season may qualify later in the season. So it may not also be a one and done overall within the same season. So
Right.
Looking at these guidelines, let's pull a few examples here for folks so we can make it real.
So for a family of one, last heating season, the guideline was $28,000. If you made under $28,133, then you were within the guidelines. But this year, a family of one can make
it's like about 29, just over 20.
Almost $30,000 in, so that income has increased substantially. So like you said, Jason, if you didn't qualify because you were over income last year, you may not be over income this year. So it's always good to try. It's always good to call. MaineHousing.org website has all of this information on there for you to look at and see. Well, I have a family household of 5 now. So last year, the family household income of 5 was $62,757, and now it's up to $65,118. That's significant. That's $3,000, more that so you could very well meet the guideline this year. And I think a lot of people are definitely going to meet these guidelines this year because of COVID and because our paychecks were inadvertently affected.
Now, Averill, looking at this, this isn't the be all and end all. This is the income guidelines, but I know that you have worked with households and members of your team have worked with households where, yes, you made a little bit more, but there are some things that we can deduct here, or there's also the opportunity to say, maybe you were making more, but you lost your job and you lost your job 3 months ago. So our look back period, let's have you come back in a couple of months or what have you, and then the circumstance may change. So speak to those things, because many people just look at these things and think very concretely that it's I don't fit, but that's not always the case.
No. So if they do happen to go over income, we will take out-of-pocket medical expenses. So that's anything that you pay out of your pocket, like for doctor copays, prescription copays. If you pay for a supplemental health insurance, or if you pay for health insurance, we can deduct that. If you have recently bought a new pair of glasses, we can deduct that. All sorts of medical expenses. And then if you happen to pay out child support to someone, we can deduct that from your income. There's certain ways that we can get around that we can get you down below that guideline. If you happen to have a job where you make more money 1 month than you do in another month, then we can have you come in the month after you have made that less money and use that month income to try and get you down. So there are ways we can help you get down below that guideline.
Yeah, that's very important. And Andrea did mention, because I think it used to be what, a 3-month look back, and now we're just looking at one. So you could literally be within, you know, a 30 to 40-day span, go from ineligible to eligible.
Yes, yes, you could.
Now, Andrea, Averill mentioned, and I know that you came to ACAP from a healthcare background, and certainly you know that healthcare costs can be quite out-of-pocket expensive for folks. So, and oftentimes, folks, we always hear, you know, the tragic situation of folks choosing between prescription drugs or heating, you know, heating their home to a comfortable level, or even buying groceries. So, hearing this from your perspective, there are certainly many community members that, when they start to add up what those out-of-pocket medical expenses are, would potentially see an opportunity to be eligible.
Absolutely, Jason. I mean, there's nobody in this community that has not been touched by medical bills, and some of them are catastrophic. And it does, and unfortunately, price of prescriptions increasing, and all of, you know, all of those things that just make it, you know, difficult. Healthcare premiums coming up all the time. All of those things, and it can be catastrophic. And when we're talking about choosing between your medications, choosing between paying your rent, eating, or heating your home in a brutal Aroostook County winter, we shouldn't have to live this way. And so this is why this is so important, you know, for us to be here, you know, at ACAP, and all, you know, there's CAP agencies throughout the state. ACAP has routinely shown the greatest amount of benefits being paid out, you know, because of the work that we do. So that's kind of a real feather in our cap. But we certainly recognize the struggles that the community is having across the board. And COVID just made everything worse. It just made everything that much worse. And so we just have to be out there. We have to be ready. And you know, for the client out there, you're the HEAP recipient or the HEAP client, whether you've received the benefit in the past. If you have received the benefit in the past, you're going to know on the letter that you received all the different kinds of documentation that we require from you. Some of it, you know, it's a little easier. You know, for example, we do require a photo identification, but that can actually be expired. It doesn't have to be something that's, you know, current. You self-employment income verification, or if you pay or receive child support, your wages. We can't accept bank statements, unfortunately, because we're looking for gross, not net. We're looking for, you know, Social Security benefit statements. So keep that at the beginning of the year. That's a really important statement to keep at the beginning of the year from Social Security. So you helping us by giving us the proper documentation in the correct time frame is going to help you get this benefit sooner than later. So it's a team effort. It's on the part of, you know, the client applying for HEAP and on the part of ACAP to work together to try to get you, you know, this benefit.
So that's a good point. And that's, I think, the next two areas where I want to go. We'll discuss with Averill sort of the process of how the HEAP season and how a HEAP appointment comes to be and what happens after. And because I think aside from on a very cold winter day or cold fall day, in many cases in Aroostook County, when we receive a large volume of calls for fuel emergencies, the second, or right tied up there with calls, are just people who are just, you know, maybe perhaps not understanding the process. So for example, right now, if I didn't receive my letter, am I out? Like that you're not going to have my appointment. So let's clear up some of those misunderstandings, or if you will, or just help folks understand what it's like and what the process is. And then Andrea will come back and we're going to talk with you about what's new this season in terms of, in addition to my HEAP appointment, I may be having the opportunity to speak with somebody else about getting connected with other services that would be helpful. So those are the two things I think are important to cover for folks. So Averill, walk us through. If I had my appointment in December last year and I haven't received a letter from ACAP this year, should I be panicking and thinking I'm not going to get an appointment this year?
No. So what we have started doing is we make a list, we run reports of everybody that received a benefit last season. And we go in order when they received it and if they're priority or not. Priority people are 60 and older, 7 years and younger than 6 years, and disabled. and wood clients. So those are our priority people, and we have to get them all in by January. So we are making appointments right now for everyone. We have started sending out the appointments. I want to try and get all of them mailed out by the end of September. So by the end of September, if you have not received an appointment letter and think you should have, please give us a call. So if you did not apply last season and you didn't get a benefit, or if you did apply last season and you were denied for some reason, you will not be getting an automatic appointment. So you will have to call us to set up an appointment. And more than likely, those appointments are going to be a little later in the season because we've already got scheduled appointments. But now people are starting to call and reschedule appointments because they conflict with things. But we're really trying to make sure people keep their appointment, because it's very important to keep that appointment, because if you call to say, well, I can't make it that day because I have something to do, your appointment could be pushed out past January. So it's very important to keep the one that we give you, and they are going to be phone appointments. They are going to be assumed to be phone appointments unless you call us and tell us that you want an in-person appointment, or if your letter specifically says you have this appointment in person. So then after those appointment letters go out, then we start making those phone calls. And if you're a phone interview, then we're going to call you. We are going to call you at that date and time. We are going to update your information and send you out a packet in the mail. And that packet's going to include the application and all the papers that you need to sign. And it's going to include instructions and things that you're going to have to get back to us. And this year, if you have given us a photo ID and a social security from your last year's appointment, we are going to pull that from your appointment so you won't have to send it again.
That's fantastic.
Because-
That's huge, because a lot of people struggle sometimes with those documents. A social security
Yes.
card, I don't know that I could put my fingers on mine, you know,
Yeah.
certainly not
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
So if you got a benefit from us last season, more than likely those are going to be on file with us. And we are going to pull that from your file. So you don't have to worry about that this year. And then once you get that paperwork, you need to sign that paperwork immediately and get that back to us. And if you're having trouble getting any of your information that we need, please sign the paperwork and send that back. That will give you another 20 business days to get anything that you're missing. If you're having trouble getting anything you're missing, give us a call. We can help you in any way we can. We are going to have navigators that can help you navigate through the websites and everything that you need to get any information you need. So don't let that be a hindrance to you and say, oh, I can't get this, so I'm just not going to send that back. Please do not do that. Just sign your paperwork, get that back to us within the 20 business days, and then you will have another 20 business days to get that rest of that information to us.
Averill, I think that this is a good point to pause and just say for a moment, please don't let things be a hindrance to you, whatever the case may be, from following through with what needs to be done, from the basic appointment at the beginning to getting that paperwork in, because, you know, you may, if your appointment's at the beginning of October, you may still have, you may not feel the sense of urgency, but if you miss that appointment, it really kicks you much further out. And so even if your circumstance at that moment, like let's say you might still have part of your benefit on your fuel vendor account from last year, a little bit left or whatever, don't miss that appointment. Don't miss those deadlines, because the clock kind of resets on you. And it's just not, we have about 6,000 people, 6,000 households that we serve annually. And it's not easy to make those kind of changes on the fly.
Yes. Yeah. So they really need to keep that appointment. Yes.
Yeah. And you know, really it's intended for most folks out there to be done over the phone if that's how you prefer it to be, or to tell us otherwise. And so that, you know, if you have something 2 hours after and you're worried that you're going to get there in time, you should be fine, because you can do it on your phone if you're traveling, even, correct? If you give us a number alternatively to call.
Yeah.
Or if your number on file is a cell phone number, we can call you if you're in Bangor, and you can do it out of a hotel room.
Yeah.
So now that we have that down, and we want to make sure folks, just before we move on to Andrea, because you had talked about the navigators as well, and then the process from there, there's actually a team of people that you might get to hear on the phone, but probably will never get to meet, and that's the certification team. And those folks have to work on your application beyond, correct? So what happens with that?
Yes. So once we have everything that we need for your application, it gets sent to the certifier. So from the day that you apply, or we receive your application, if it's a phone interview back in the office, we have 30 business days to certify that application. So once we gather all the information, they have everything, it goes to the certifiers, and the certifiers will determine whether or not you're eligible. So if you are determined eligible, then that goes to Maine Housing, and they will take it from there, issue the letter and the benefit to you. If you are determined ineligible, then you will be sent a letter telling you why you're ineligible, and you will have 15 business days to try and get in or reverse that situation. If that happens, then after the 15 business days, they will reopen your case if you give them what they need, and then you could possibly get your benefit again.
So again, all is not lost. That's the initial, but again, we talked about other circumstances where income might change or what have you that might change and allow us to reopen that file. Lastly, just so folks understand, you will not be getting, if you are certified and you are eligible, you will not be receiving a check in the mail. Tell us how that works and what happens.
Okay, so if you pay for your fuel and you have a fuel vendor, what happens is you're certified eligible for a benefit, and that benefit will be sent to your fuel vendor, and then you would call your fuel vendor, order your fuel, and they would take it off the benefit. But there are certain cases where you will get a direct check. If you are renting and your heat is in your rent and you're not subsidized, the benefit that is determined, you can either go directly to you, or if you have a light bill that you pay, we can send it to the light company. So just because your heat is in your rent does not mean that you cannot apply for this assistance, because you're paying rent as if you were heating your house or your apartment, and your rent would be lower if you would have had to do this on your own. So you are basically paying to heat that apartment one way or the other. So you are entitled to a benefit.
That's a good piece of information, because I think some people make the assumption that I don't pay heating bills, so therefore I shouldn't even bother.
Right. I had someone call this morning and say, I moved into an apartment where I don't have to pay for heat, so I'm going to cancel my appointment. I said, no, please don't do that. I said, you can still get a benefit.
That's good. That's good to know, because those are the things that people make assumptions about that end up making decisions that don't necessarily make sense, and it's because they just don't have that information. So thank you for sharing that. The other piece that I think from just my understanding of the program and conversations with you and others on the team that I think is important for folks to know is, you did mention, if there are new people that want to get into the program, and that even if their appointment ends up being, in March, or even if they intentionally want to do one in April, May, or June, because we go straight to July 15th with this program, it's very much worth applying, because if you're going to be in a pinch this fall, you may be in a pinch next fall. And even if you get your allocation in at the very start of the summer months or late spring when you don't need it, it's there the following year, correct?
Yes. Yeah. If you get a benefit, it will stay on your account until the next April of the next year.
Great. So that's important to know, because people, right now on, warm summer days, you're not thinking about it. And then when you get past that crunch of the heating season, I'd say beyond March, but in reality, mid-May in Aroostook County, and you're not necessarily turning the thermostat up as much, you don't think about that. And that's actually probably the best time to apply as a new applicant.
Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of applying, Andrea White, what we're really excited this year, and in your role is pivotal to this, is we have, like I said, about 6,000 households across Aroostook County who apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program every year. And we love seeing them every year. But there's other opportunities, and granted, if you're in need of assistance with heating, there may be other areas, and that's certainly not going to go unnoticed this year by ACAP.
Absolutely. I mean, there, where there's need in one area, you could certainly have a need in other areas too. Like, for example, when you call or we call you to talk about your home heating application, we might find out from you that you've got children under the age of 5. So guess what? You might be eligible for WIC. And so then we're going to then direct you to one of our navigators. And our navigator is then going to talk to you about WIC. We can talk to you about rental relief. We can talk to you about like maybe you're nursing a baby. Maybe you need help with nursing that baby, just some guidance along those lines. There's a lot of things. In fact, I think Jason, Parent, clarify me if I'm wrong, but I think it's well over 40 different kinds of programs. You can stop into any one of our offices and you can see actually Averill's face right on this brochure, poster child for all these wonderful things.
She loves that.
It's like a centerfold, I guess.
Well, that takes on a whole new meaning, Averill. I was not going there, but poster child is.
All the different things that we offer. It's outstanding. It's amazing. And because we have all of these services that we can point you in the direction of, and yes, HEAP is a springboard to a lot of different things. So if you want to apply for SNAP or food stamps, guess what? You got to kind of be HEAP eligible too, but that's kind of a springboard to that particular service. But because we have all these things going on, as Jason said at the beginning, as you said, we're hiring. So on these letters that were over 6,000 letters that we're sending out for these HEAP appointments, we have also put a little sticker on each one of them that says we're hiring, because guess what? You might get that letter and you might say, oh my gosh, my brother he's a retired carpenter, or he's a carpenter looking for work. So we need people to help with our weatherization program. We need people to help with our child care centers. We need people to help in virtually every aspect of every program that we offer. So that was the little stickers that we had put on all of the appointment letters that are going out. We're hoping that, the community can say, oh my gosh, my daughter is a child care worker and she needs a job, or she's in university and she might need some extra hours or something like that. So it's kind of a way for the community to sort of let us know that they might have people out there that could help us. And we're always hiring. So that was kind of a fun thing. But the navigators are definitely an integral part, and it's a new program that is going to be, able to direct you, because not only home heating assistance, but you probably do qualify for lots of other things. And we're happy to help you with all of those other things. And we can help. If we can't help you, if we don't know what you need. So you need to let us know.
Yeah, and certainly on the employment side of things, the Home Energy Assistance Program is one of those that really provides some unique opportunities for folks, especially folks who might be recently retired and not, they like the concept of having summers off. I always laugh at the concept of thinking we have one of our veteran certifiers, Norma Violet, who works on your team, who I'm famous for running into at Holton Farms Dairy as I'm coming out of work with a suit and tie on, and Norma's like coming off of her 4x4 with dust all over, and she and her husband have had just a great day out there riding because she's off for a little bit of time in the summer because it's there's a seasonal opportunity. There's also opportunities for a few of our staff members to work year round as well, but it's just just because you maybe have retired and you're done with the full-time year-round work, this is an opportunity in this program in particular. So this year I know we were really looking for folks like that, especially up in the St. John Valley, that somebody because that's an especially shorter season up there. By February or beginning of March, you're done up in the valley. So it's not really a year-round, completely full-time commitment. And so if you see those ads out there, think about that as an opportunity. But certainly, Andrea, that's absolutely right in terms of the sort of comprehensive service delivery we're looking to provide folks with. And we're gonna be having those conversations. So if you're on the phone with doing a phone intake for HEAP, or if you're in one of our facilities and you scheduled an in-person appointment, we're going to be offering you the opportunity to either walk over or to have a phone call or a follow-up phone call from a navigator. Consider saying yes to that, because you never know what other doors might open up for you, and truly be able to live up to our vision of making life better for people across Aroostook County if we can help ease the burden in any kind of way.
Absolutely. And the other thing too, Jason, I just wanted to add, when you do get your letter for the HEAP program, please make sure that if you have a phone number change, please let us know, because that's going to be your lifeline. Like, that's how we reach you. And if your phone numbers change, like some people, phone numbers change, like we change our underwear sometimes, and sometimes change, we have to know, and otherwise we can't do that. We can't call you. So, it just, that those are the things that could make or break us, doing this appointment with you.
Yes, there's nothing that frustrates Averill more than making a call and hearing that number is no longer in service. So spare Averill and her team members that frustration, and let us know if your phone numbers change, because it's a vital lifeline of how we communicate with you, especially in these pandemic times. Anything else we've missed, Andrea, that you wanted to make sure folks out there know?
Jason, I think we've pretty much covered everything. The guidelines have changed. Make sure we have your, accurate phone number. Get that signed application in. If you can't provide any other documents, at least mail us back the signed application, and that buys you a little bit more time. Other than that, I look forward to serving, many people and making it, possible for them to heat their homes, because it's so important. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else to add.
Averill Gardner, what else have we missed? Anything else you want to share with folks?
No, not really. You know how much I love to talk.
Yes, indeed. I actually want to just mention one more thing, because all that we've been talking about through the Home Energy Assistance Program and the importance of keeping those appointments, those are critically important for another reason, and that is oftentimes, especially as we get into the colder fall and those really cold snap winter days when folks are like out of fuel, those emergencies, we only have so much bandwidth to be able to meet so many of those every day. And those are just the gut-wrenching things that we deal with every day. But it's keeping those appointments and being a part of the regular Home Energy Assistance Program, Averill, that are going to hopefully better ensure that there's fuel in the tank, so that those emergencies are fewer and further between.
Yes.
So you can help us and help yourself by staying current with your HEAP appointments, applying for the HEAP program, because in an emergency situation, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get you the HEAP benefit first. So we're going to be asking you all the same questions and requiring the same documents from you for an emergency that we do for a regular appointment. So doing that and doing it not under duress is the best advice I think both of you would share with folks.
Yes. It's
Absolutely.
very important, yes, because an emergency appointment is the same as a regular appointment. So you have to do all the same things. It's not like they can just call and we can send a truck out. You have to be certified eligible. So we have to go through the whole application. So it's pretty much the same thing. So please keep that appointment.
And it puts a lot of pressure on both sides. It puts a lot of pressure on you to produce documents that might not be at your fingertips, that you'd otherwise have weeks to produce and get your hands on. So make your appointments and stay current with your information, and help us help you. All right, Averill Gardner and Andrea White, thank you so much for joining us. Before we leave the rest of you today, just a couple of things before we end this broadcast. First, Andrea mentioned it and I talked about it as well. If you would like to join the ACAP team, we do have current openings across Aroostook County in various parts of the region. We also have a number of benefits that you can see there on your screen, and are currently offering a $500 sign-on bonus for individuals who do gain employment with the agency and stay with us through an introductory period. So please do consider, if you have experience in any of these areas or think that you have what it takes and would like to join our fantastic team throughout Aroostook County, please do consider applying. You can do that directly online. You can call our HR office, and certainly we would be happy to connect you with the information that you need. And lastly, as we do at each point at the end of our broadcast, we share with you our snapshot of the week from here at ACAP. And this is a morning yoga session that was held here in Presque Isle at beautiful Mantle Lake Park. It was made possible through a collaboration between the Presque Isle Recreation Department, ACAP's 5210 Let's Go program, and Inspired Wellness, a private business here in Presque Isle, who all came together to collaborate to make this happen. In this activity, all participants gained knowledge about yoga techniques to practice at home. They were also offered, courtesy of the 5210 Let's Go program here at ACAP, a free yoga mat, water bottle, and they received a booklet with healthy recipes as part of our overall partnership on this exciting initiative. If you're interested in future programs like this, please do continue to stay in touch with us. We hope to let you know both through our social media and other venues about activities like this moving forward. And we thank Renee Bragdon and our 5210 Let's Go partners for this opportunity to help make our community healthier and more mindful at the same time. And with that, that's this week's edition of ACAP Today. On behalf of Andrea and on behalf of Averill and everyone here at the Aroostook County Action Program, we wish you the best of weeks. I'm Jason Parent. We'll see you next week with another edition of ACAP Today. Have a great week, everyone.